Good afternoon, fam. I'm back. How everybody doing? Daylight savings time started again today, so make sure that you spring forward with your clocks because they're taking that hour back. But I just wanted to come in and I just wanted to give you a little bit of information. I guess you can call it. I'm kind of continuing the series that it seems like I've started. Just pointing out all the reasons why, all the facts, the truths why um, foundational Black Americans just need to sit out this whole voting process. We just need to let that whole thing go. We need to let them bypass us on that, and we need to be concentrating on our communities and our neighborhoods. We need to be concentrating on our economics and building our economic base, which is our real power base. Um, we need to stick to our guns as far as no tangibles, no vote. And tangibles begins with reparations. And of course, reparations is money, and we need to work on building our relationships within our communities with each other, with Black business owners need to be building their relationships in the communities so that Black folk and foundational Black Americans can know what you're offering, what services, what products. We need to be building better relationships as far as business is concerned so that we can build our economics. We need to be keeping that money in our communities. We need to stop giving the Black church all of our money. We claim we're broke, but the Black church makes millions and millions of dollars every year. And we don't see, I'm not going to say all, but we don't see most Black churches in these cities, in these communities, opening businesses and employing other Black people. We don't see them doing that. We don't see them opening schools so that they can educate Black children. And I mean, give them a real education. See, we don't see that. We don't see that from the Black church. And prior to the civil rights movement, the Black church was the strength of the Black community. And it wasn't all about money, and it wasn't all about gimme, 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 and it wasn't all about the pastors driving all of these big fancy cars and living all these big fancy houses. It wasn't about the mega church with the 4 and 5 and 6,000 members. That's not what it was about prior to integration. But we'll get into that. But we need to stop just giving our money away, because we have it. As I've stated over and over and over again in these videos, we, the Black community, the foundational Black American community, we spend over $1.3 trillion a year. That's how much money we spend buying stuff, as consumers, consuming stuff. That's how much money we spend. So there's no way that you can say that the foundational Black American community is broke. Not when we spend out that kind of money. Not when we put out that kind of money every year. But again, we're putting it out in other communities, with other groups. We're building their economic base. We're building their futures. We're building their legacies. We're helping them to build and maintain their wealth while we have none. While we have no wealth to pass down to our children. We have no legacies to pass down to our children. Legacies are supposed to include more than just words and stories, and stuff that was wrote in a family Bible, and tales that we tell about our ancestors. A legacy is supposed to include tangible stuff like property, money, businesses. That's what a legacy is supposed to include. And we're giving all of our children's wealth, all of their generational wealth, all of their legacy, we're giving it away to other groups in how we spend our money. Because we don't support our own communities, we don't support our own businesses, we don't support our own people, we don't employ our own people. So that's what we need to be concentrating on. There are things that we need to be concentrating on to strengthen our communities, to strengthen to build our power, to build our economic power, so that we can successfully, when the time is right, we can successfully participate in that whole political process. But, and what I'm going to talk about today is just more evidence that we definitely don't need to even be considering voting for any of the Democrats. What I'm going to talk about today, it just further puts another nail in the coffin that black folk need to wake up. Those who are inclined to vote and those who are inclined to vote Democratic. Well, we already know the Republicans ain't got nothing to offer us. But it's the Democrats that are pandering for our vote right now. It's the Democrats that are out here, doing all of this stuff to try to get the black vote. While they lie and say that the black vote really doesn't matter. And they try to act like they don't want it or they don't need it. But the stories I'm going to bring to you today are just further evidence of why, we just need to sit back and let the Democratic Party crash and burn this time, just like they did in 2016, and just like what happened in 2018. At the midterm elections, we just need to sit back and we just need to let them crash and burn. We don't need to vote for any of them. We need to hold our vote and build our power until somebody is talking some tangibles for foundational black Americans, until somebody is talking about what we're talking about, until somebody has a real black agenda other than all of this LGBTQ and all of this immigration and illegal immigrants and all of this mess that they're pushing. A real black agenda that's about us. Specifically, just about us. Okay? So these two stories that I'm going to present to you today, are just further evidence that we need to sit this out. Okay? But first, I want to talk about, I want to give a little background information, and I want to talk about sanctuary cities. And I'm sure most of you know what sanctuary cities are, but just for the sake of this broadcast and for the sake of making sure we refresh, this information, sanctuary cities are a sanctuary city refers to municipal jurisdictions, typically in North America, that limit their cooperation with the national government's efforts to enforce immigration law. So sanctuary cities are those cities that you can go to and kind of be safe from the illegal aliens, these folks that are here criminally, these folks that are here illegally, these folks that are here as invaders, these folks who just being here is a crime that they continue to commit. These are the cities that they can go to and kind of be safe from immigration. These cities, in some cases, these states, have different laws and different policies and certain things in place to protect the illegal alien, the criminal, and to kind of, well, actually, not kind of, but to completely go against the federal law, which the immigration laws are federal laws. So they have these state laws and they have these city ordinances and they have these policies and all of this kind of stuff that go completely against the federal law as far as immigration is concerned to protect these folks. And I'm going to have this linked in the description box. But now we're going to go to the Center for Immigration Studies. And this was updated February the 5th, 2020. It has a list of all the states that are sanctuary states and all the cities and counties in those states that are sanctuary cities and counties. And the sanctuary cities listed, the states are California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, and Vermont. And if I'm not mistaken, most of those states are Democratic states. They are Democratic states. They have, they either have a Democratic mayor or a Democratic governor or a Democratic senator or congressman or whatever. They're Democratic states. I know for a fact that California is. I know for a fact New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Connecticut, I believe, Illinois, all of these, if I'm not mistaken, if not all of them, most of them are Democrat held states. And the Democrats have been big this year coming out with, well, it's been for a few years, coming out with all of this about immigration and about illegal aliens. As I've said on other broadcasts, the first 2 or 3 debates, that's all they talked about. All they talked about was immigration and the special rights and the special privileges and the special protections that they wanted for illegal aliens and all of that. Now, immigrants, people who are here legally, people who went through the process, people who took the necessary steps to be here legally like they're supposed to. Okay, yes, you have rights because you are citizens. But we're talking about these folks who are here illegally. They know they're here illegally. They know when they came here that they were illegal. They know when they came here that they were breaking the law. And they know being here, continuing to be here in that status, they're continuing to break the law. They have no rights whatsoever because they are not citizens. So they have no rights. But the Democrats are determined to give them all kind of special rights, special privileges, special protections. I mean, they're being protected from ICE. They're being protected from local law enforcement. We've got prosecutors that have been fired, for asking about an illegal alien's immigration status. New York City has all kind of ordinances and policies where you can't even call somebody an illegal alien. You can't threaten to call ICE or call immigration on them. I mean, they just got all kinds. California has all kinds of protections for these people, and they're here illegally. They are criminals. But those are that's the list of the sanctuary states. California, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Vermont. And then the list goes on with the different cities and the counties. And, these folks have, let me read what it says here. Map 1, Sanctuary Cities, Counties, and States, updated February 5th, 2020. The sanctuary jurisdictions are listed below. These cities, counties, and states have laws, ordinances, regulations, resolutions, policies, or other practices that obstruct immigration enforcement and shield criminals from ICE. That's the U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement, either by refusing to or prohibiting agencies from complying with ICE detainers, imposing unreasonable conditions on detainer acceptance, denying ICE access to interview incarcerated aliens, or otherwise impeding communication or information exchanges between their personnel and federal immigration officers. So actually, these people are just flat out going against federal law. They're just flat out going against the federal government. Just flat out going against what the federal government says, is the way it's supposed to be. What the law, as far as immigration is concerned, says that it's supposed to be. They're just flat out going against it. You got these mayors, you got these governors, you got these folks on city councils, you got sheriffs and police chiefs and all of that, just flat out refusing to allow immigration or ICE to come in and do their job as far as federal law is concerned. A detainer is the primary tool used by ICE to gain custody of criminal aliens for deportation. It is a notice to another law enforcement agency that ICE intends to assume custody of an alien and includes information on the alien's previous criminal history, immigration violations, and potential threat to public safety or security. Now, again, what I want you to make sure that you have to remember is that we're not talking about immigrants who are here legally. We're not talking about people who have gone through the process and have gone through the necessary channels, and they are here like they're supposed to be. They should have, the rights as citizens because they're citizens. We're talking about people who are here illegally. They know they're here illegally. When they came, they knew it was illegal. And as they continue to stay, they know it's illegal. And not only are they committing the crime of being here illegally, and actually, as one of my subscribers described it a while back, it's actually an act of war. Because when you step foot in another country and you're not supposed to be there and you refuse to leave, you're actually invading that country. So it's actually even more than you being here illegally. It's actually an act of war. But we actually have states and cities and counties that are just disregarding, you understand what I'm saying, the immigration laws, and have designated their city or their state or their county as a safe haven for these criminals, out and out criminals. And you have the whole entire Democratic Party talking about giving these folks all kind of health care. Now they can get driver's license, all kinds of special rights and privileges. They're protected from, of course, they're protected. You see, they're protected from the federal government. They're also, like I said, protected in some instances from state and local law enforcement and all of this. And this is what the Democrats want to do. But they can't give us anything. We don't have any special rights and protections. We have no protections under the law. The 1964 Civil Rights Act was supposed to give us all of these protections and all of these rights and all of that. And it's being extended because they stuck that word minority in there. It's being extended to everybody else except us. And now it's being extended to people who are here criminally, to people who are not even citizens. Okay? But the link to this information will be in the description box so that you can see the states and the cities and the counties that are sanctuary cities. Now, the first story I want to hit on is this story from February 28th, 2020, and it's coming from CBS Chicago. And it's Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Mayor Lori Lightfoot is the black LGBT new mayor. She's been the mayor for about a year now, something like that, year and a half or whatever, of Chicago. Mayor Lori Lightfoot defends Chicago's sanctuary city law after previously deported convict is charged with sexually assaulting a toddler. Okay? Mayor Lori Lightfoot says she's committed to Chicago's status as a sanctuary city for immigrants. Not immigrants. Immigrants don't need a sanctuary city. They're not using the right word here. See, you can always depend on the white mainstream media to try to push a different type of narrative or to just flat out lie. They're not talking about immigrants. You don't need sanctuary cities for immigrants. You need sanctuary cities for illegal aliens. For folks who are here illegally, who don't have a right to be here. Immigrants, if they've gone through the necessary process, they have the right to be here, okay? So that's the wrong word. The sanctuary cities are not for immigrants. And brushed off criticism from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement after a convicted felon previously deported to Mexico was charged with sexually assaulting a toddler in the restroom of the McDonald's restaurant in River North. Christopher Ponte, 34, was charged last week with one count of predatory criminal sexual assault after police say he lured a 3-year-old girl into a bathroom stall and raped her while her father was tending to her brother. announced Friday that they had lodged a detainer request with Chicago police in June of 2019 after Ponte was arrested for theft. But the detainer was not honored. Now, remember, we just read that the detainer is the tool that ICE uses to make that connection with local law enforcement to let them know that, they want to come, they want to, get custody of this illegal person, this illegal alien. So this detainer that they issued in June 2019 after the man was arrested for theft. Okay? So now you got to understand, now we're talking about not only is he here illegally, not only is he a criminal in that right, but he's also a criminal doing other stuff. Okay? Ponte had been deported to Mexico in 2014 over a prior burglary conviction. So we got burglary in 2014. Okay, in 2019, before the rape, there was theft, and now it's sexual molestation. It's rape. It's rape. He's raped a 3-year-old little girl. Okay. Ponte had been deported to Mexico in 2014 over a prior burglary conviction, but tried to get back in 5 days later, claiming to be a citizen, and later skipped out on a hearing before an immigration judge. He was ordered deported again in 2017 in absentia, according to ICE, because he didn't show up for the hearing with the judge. Chicago's Welcoming City Ordinance protects undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens, from being held for immigration authorities unless they have been convicted of a serious crime or are being sought on a criminal warrant signed by a judge. So these people who are here, who are already committing a crime just by being here, you understand what I'm saying? Chicago won't let immigration and let ICE handle these folks like they're supposed to be handled unless they have been convicted of, not accused of, but convicted of a serious crime. So what? They got to rape folks. They got to burglarize folks. They got to murder. They got to do all of this before Chicago will allow ICE to come in and do their job and do what the federal law says that they're supposed to do. Or they're being sought on a criminal warrant, which means they've committed a crime signed by a judge. How many more victims must there be before lawmakers realize that sanctuary policies do not protect the innocent? Asked Robert Gaudian, director of the Chicago Field Office for ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations. Ponte should have been in ICE custody last year and removed to his home country. Instead, irresponsible lawmaking allowed him to walk free and prey on our most innocent. Then Lightfoot, this is the mayor, the black mayor, the black LGBT mayor, the Democrat. Then she goes into all of this explaining and all of this excuse and all of this, trying to defend, Chicago being a sanctuary city and all of this. Lightfoot accused ICE of playing politics with the Ponte case as retaliation after her recent criticism of the agency's aggressive tactics targeting undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens. The mayor said she had a pointed conversation with the head of the agency last week after ICE arrested another illegal alien, 34-year-old Julio Torres, in front of his daughter and her classmates earlier this month as he was dropping her off at school. If ICE is complaining, then they should do their job better, and they shouldn't do things that are traumatizing young children. Now, we're talking about Chicago. We're talking about a black woman. We're talking about how she's defending non-citizens, folks who are here criminally. But at any point have we heard her come out this strong, even before she became mayor? She had to been, in the political arena. She had to been up on what was going on in the world. Have we heard her come out this strong against all of these police killings of innocent black folks? Have we heard her come out this strong about the kind of stuff that's going on with black kids in public schools? They're being attacked by teachers and resource officers. They're being discriminated against because of their hair, because of their natural hair. They're being forced to cut off their hair and their locks and all of that in order to participate in certain sports. Have we heard her say anything about any of that? Have we heard her come out this strong about anything pertaining to the foundational Black American community? But she can come out this strong for criminals. Known criminals. Because not only, like I said, are they committing the crime of being here illegally, but then they're also committing other crimes, rapes, murders, all of that. But they're supposed to be protected. We're supposed to be sensitive to their feelings. That's not acceptable, and I was very clear and blunt about that. How is that right? How is it right for them to be here? How is it right for you to provide sanctuary for somebody who's committing ongoing crime? It's not like they committed the crime one time and left it alone, but they're committing ongoing crime. As long as they're here illegally and they know they're here illegally, they're continuing to commit that crime. But you want to protect them. You want to give them special rights and special protections and special privileges. Lightfoot says Chicago police need to maintain a good relationship with the communities they serve and shouldn't be used as a tool for strict enforcement of immigration laws. Okay, so the Chicago police shouldn't be helping the federal government enforce immigration laws. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure out why law enforcement is not supposed to help a federal branch of law enforcement maintain the law. But it's okay for Chicago police and other police departments to go against the law and kill unarmed people in the street, unarmed black folks in the street. It's okay for them to do that. It's okay for them to do that. Okay, but anyway, that's Lightfoot's take on it. I'm not going to read the whole article. Y'all can go back. It's going to be listed in the description box. Y'all can go back and y'all can read everything that she said. But again, she's defending Chicago as a sanctuary city, even after this man who was deported back in 2014 for a burglary conviction, right? They tried to get another detainer for him in 2019 for theft, and now he has raped a little 3-year-old girl. But she still wants to defend Chicago being a sanctuary city. But like I said, we haven't heard her come out and take any kind of stance whatsoever as far as foundational Black Americans are concerned, how we're treated, how we're brutalized, and how we're killed at will by state sanctioned police officers. She hadn't come out and said anything about any of that. Okay, that's that story. That's coming out of Chicago. Again, that was February 28, 2020. Now let's move on to the next story. I got this out of the Washington Examiner, Sunday, March 8th, 2020. This one is fresh and brand new. City officials allege ICE defied sanctuary law with San Francisco courthouse arrest. This is by Andrew Mark Miller, March 6, 2020. Okay. I hope they ain't getting ready to look like it might be trying to. San Francisco city officials lashed out at U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement after federal agents arrested an illegal immigrant, an illegal alien, on the steps of a courthouse in what they described as a violation of the sanctuary law in California. San Francisco public defender Mano Raja said the arrest was conducted without a judicial warrant, which therefore violates state law. California law explicitly prohibits a civil enforcement agency, including ICE, from making a civil arrest without a warrant outside a courthouse, Raja said. ICE's illegal conduct undermines community trust and public safety. Undermines community trust and public safety. So nobody cares that the foundational Black American community doesn't trust law enforcement, doesn't trust the government, doesn't trust any government agencies, doesn't trust any law enforcement agencies, period. Local, state, or federal. Because of our interactions with them, and because of the oppression, the brutality, and because we know how our interactions with them usually turn out, we don't trust them. But ain't nobody concerned about the fact that the foundational Black American community has no trust. Nobody's concerned about the fact that it undermines public safety for you to have police officers running around shooting and killing foundational Black Americans who are unarmed, who are not in the commission of a crime, some who have not even committed a crime, folk just sitting in their cars. You understand what I'm saying? Because you claim that there was a traffic violation and they sitting in the car and they end up being shot to death. Sandra Bland was supposed to be stopped simply for a traffic violation. She ends up dead in police custody. But that's not a public safety issue. That doesn't undermine public safety. But when you mess with the illegal aliens, when you mess with the folks that don't have any right to be here, the folks who are not citizens, when you follow the law and handle them like they should be handled, then all of a sudden you're undermining community trust and public safety. Raja added that arrests such as this scare people and constitute illegal activity. ICE responded by arguing that states cannot and will not govern the conduct of federal officers. Exactly. That's the whole point. Your little state laws and your little state policies and your little city ordinances and all of this kind of, and your little regulations and all of this kind of stuff. None of that trumps federal law. And none of these federal officers or state officers or local officers or law enforcement or whatever, none of them have the power or the right legally to tell federal officers in the commission of their job what they can and cannot do. So do you understand how these sanctuary cities and these sanctuary states with all of, their little laws and their little policies and their little regulations and all of that goes directly against the federal government. It goes directly against the laws that are in place as far as immigration is concerned by the federal government. And most of these, like I said, most of these states that offer these sanctuary cities and counties and all of them, most of them are Democratic, if not all. ICE responded by arguing that states cannot and will not govern the conduct of federal officers. For many years, the city and county of San Francisco has refused to cooperate with ICE, much to their own detriment. ICE San Francisco Field Officer Director David Jennings said in a statement, "Criminals like this individual are released to offend again and again. A simple phone call to ICE to arrange the secure transfer of such individuals would serve the hardworking residents of the city far more than a misguided sanctuary policy that, as proven here and numerous times in the past, goes to great lengths to protect criminals under the guise of protecting the citizenry." So see, just answering the phone, ICE calls and says, okay, we coming to pick this one up. We coming to pick that one up. You understand what I'm saying? We need some information about this one, because in certain states and in certain cities, they refuse to even allow ICE access to any of their information, any of their database information about illegal aliens, any of that. So actually, the sanctuary cities and the bullshit that they're pulling, they're actually the reason why ICE has decided, okay, we just going to have to go in and we're going to have to do this our way. We have tried to work with these people. They will not cooperate with us. They will not honor the detainers. They will not give us access. They will not give us the information that we need. So we're just going to have to go in and we're just going to have to do it our own way. An ICE spokesman released a statement saying that the man, who has not been identified by ICE or city officials, has 3 felony burglary convictions and an ICE detainer requested lodged against him since 2018 that was ignored. So again, we're not talking about, is bad enough that they're just here illegally and they continue to perpetuate that crime. But not only that, they're doing all of this other stuff and committing all of these other crimes. And these cities, these states are protecting them. They are protecting criminals. But then people will come out and say that Mike Brown shouldn't have done what he did, or he wouldn't have got killed. So and so shouldn't have been a resisting arrest, or they wouldn't have got shot. So and so shouldn't have been running, or they wouldn't have shot. You understand? It's always an excuse when it comes to foundational Black Americans and how we're brutalized and murdered by by state-sanctioned police people. Everybody tried to make Trayvon Martin, all of them white supremacists and all, tried to make Trayvon Martin guilty for defending himself against this man that was stalking him with a gun. But these criminals who aren't even citizens, who just started coming in here, really around 1965, and then there was another big boom in the 1980s. But foundational Black Americans who have been here ever since, even before this place was America. We don't have these kind of rights. We don't have these kind of protections under the law. Even when we're innocent, even when we go to court and it's proven that we're innocent, and the jury finds us not guilty and acquits us, we're still treated like criminals. We're still treated like we committed a crime. But these folks have not just been accused of committing crimes, they have been convicted of these crimes. And ICE has tried to go through the right process, has tried to go through all the right steps, go through all the red tape with these detainers and all of this kind of stuff, and none of this stuff is being honored. They're not paying these cities and these states aren't paying this any attention. They're just allowing these folks to just keep on going around offending, and they talking about public safety. But again, this is the mess that the Democrats are pushing. LGBTQ and rights and special privileges and special protections for LGBTQ and illegal aliens, that's all they're pushing. That's their platform. And you got all these black bootlicking politicians and all of those black members of the Congressional Black Caucus and all that out marching and protesting and got so much to say about illegal immigrants and how illegal immigrants are being treated at the border and immigration and all of this and LGBTQ this and LGBTQ that. But nobody has anything to say about how foundational Black Americans are being treated. Nobody's screaming, nobody's protesting, nobody's marching, nobody's doing impassionate speeches and all of this about all of these black men and women that have been killed in the streets by police officers. And the police officers just walk away from it. ICE officials also violated the state law prohibiting immigration arrests at a courthouse weeks ago in Sonoma County by arresting 3 people. So they violated state law. They are federal officers. They are federal law enforcement operating under federal law. But they're going to talk about they violated a state law. In an open letter to the public last year, ICE explained why the agency is not bound by sanctuary city laws. Section 287 of the Immigration and Nationality Act provides ICE officers the authority to arrest aliens without a judicial warrant. The statement read, adding that no judge in this country has the authority to issue a warrant for a civil immigration violation. And of course, that was kind of a short article. But of course, this one will also be linked in the description box. But I just wanted to to refresh your memory about sanctuary cities, what they are, give you the list of the states. Like I said, the link will be in the description box, and you can go see the list of the states, the cities, and the counties that do this sanctuary thing. And again, I just wanted to use these 2 articles to show how nobody cares about what's going on with us. Nobody cares about what's going on with foundational Black Americans. The Democrats certainly don't. The Democrats are all about immigration, illegal aliens, special rights, special privileges, special protections for illegal aliens, and they've already enacted it. It's already out there everywhere. You can see it. It's not something that they're talking about doing. It's being done. It's being done as we speak. They have these special rights, they have these privileges, and they have these special protections from the law. And they are criminals. And they continue to operate in criminal activity. And they're not going to jail. They're not being detained. They're not being deported. Because these states and these cities and these counties won't cooperate with ICE. So now ICE is just determined, okay, well, we got to do our jobs. So they just do, they just doing it, okay, well, this is the way you want us to do it. This is the way that you have forced our hand. This is the way that you have forced us to do it. So we got to do what we got to do. And they're right. They need to do it. They need to handle business against these criminals. But see, everybody wants to try to make the foundational Black American the face of criminality. The thugs, the drug dealers, the rapists, the murderers. And they want to hide and protect what these other groups are doing when they're the ones that are really committing the crimes. When they're the ones that are really doing all of this stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody's talking about it. You know, the news is not reporting on it and all of that. But the minute somebody black does something, then, you know, it's blasted all over white media. And again, we become the face of criminality. We become the thugs. We become the face of anything that's negative, anything that's bad, while they cover up and hide and protect what these other groups are doing. And this is what the Democrats are all about. This is what they're pushing. This is their agenda. Either LGBTQ rights, special privileges, special protections, or special privileges, special rights, special protections for the illegal alien. That's all that they're interested in. Nothing for foundational Black Americans. And if they mention foundational Black Americans, somewhere in there, they're going to include the word minority or people of color or marginalized groups or marginalized neighborhoods or marginalized communities or whatever, so that that leaves that door open for them to include everybody else. But never anything that's specifically for us. So I just wanted to remind you of what's really going on and what these Democrats are really all about and what they're really pushing and what they're really supporting and the policies that they intend to enact when they get, if they get in office, if they get in the White House or whatever. This is the kind of stuff that they're going to be working on. These are the kind of laws that are going to be enacted. Nothing that helps us. Nothing that benefits the foundation of Black America. Not anything that benefits us specifically. If they do anything, it's going to be, you know, so wide and so ambiguous with all of those, and so broad with all of those terms. Like I said, minority. Minorities include white women, Asians, Arabs, LGBT, immigrants, illegal aliens. Minorities include all those things. People of color, marginalized communities, marginalized people. See, those are the words that they use so that they can make it available to everybody. And once it's available to everybody, it's no longer about us. And it will not benefit us. Just like they made the 1964 Civil Rights Act open to everybody with all of that minority talk and all of this kind of stuff. And once they did that, it was no longer about us. And it has not benefited us at all. Had it benefited us, we wouldn't be in the shape that we're in now. Had it benefited us, we would not have seen all the Black people that we have seen be murdered in cold blood by police officers. We would not have seen the police brutality that we see. We would not still be seeing the discrimination in housing, in education, economically. We would not keep seeing the things that we're seeing, and we would not be in the shape that we're in now if the 1964 Civil Rights Act had done what it was supposed to do. But this is what you would be voting for. If you vote for the Democrats, this is what you vote for. You vote for non-citizens, people who don't even have the right to be here, people who are not even supposed to be here, people who are supposed to be locked up for being here and be detained and sent back where they came from. If you vote for the Democrats, then you're voting for those people to have rights and privileges and protections that you, as a foundational Black American citizen, don't have. and that nobody's trying to give you. So you need to know what you're getting when you vote. This is part of what you'll get if you vote for Joe Biden, if you vote for Bernie Sanders, or whoever the nominee is. We're thinking it's going to be Joe, but there's some time, and the Democrats, I feel like they're up to something, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But whatever Democrat you vote for, this is what you're getting. This is what you're voting for. Does this look like something that's just for you? Does this look like a tangible for you? Does this look like something that's going to benefit you and your family and your community and your children for the next 2 or 3 generations? Because if it doesn't look like something that's going to benefit you, if it doesn't look like something that's going to benefit your family, if it doesn't look like something that's going to benefit your children and your children's children, if it doesn't look like something that's going to benefit your pocket and their pocket, then why are you voting for it? Excuse me, y'all. Why are you even considering voting for it? Because I don't see anything that's beneficial for foundational Black Americans in anything that the Democrats are talking about doing, in any of their platforms, any of their agendas, any of their plans. So these articles will be listed in the description box. So, please go read this stuff. Look at the sanctuary cities, the counties, the states, and all of this. I live in North Carolina. And as a state, North Carolina is not and does not support sanctuary cities. But we do have counties that have classed themselves as sanctuary counties. But we don't have any state laws or cities that support this sanctuary stuff. But then North Carolina is a Republican, right? It's kind of a Republican held state, so that may be the reason why. But anyway, you guys, read this information, get up on this information, learn more about this, understand that this is what you're getting when you're dealing with the Democrats. This kind of stuff is what you're getting. LGBTQ and illegal immigrants. That's what you're getting. That's what it's all about. So please like this video. Please share this video. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit that bell notification so that you can be notified when we upload videos. All this information, like I said, will be in the description box. The information for the PayPal for the channel is in the description box. Read this, become aware, and know exactly what you're doing. And y'all have a good day.